welcome back to Videomas Day 24. 2 more days to go. So today's video is going to be my annual top 5 or another 5 Christmas movies that I've enjoyed or that I do enjoy. So this year, 2022's version is going to be a bit of like family movies and then also a bit of a heavier theme for the movies. So before I get started, the order that they're in isn't exactly the order of enjoyment. It's just how I put them down into my notes. So how I do it every other year is I'm going to tell you a bit of the plot, why I liked it, and that stuff, and then tell you if you should watch it or not. So we're going to do it from 5 to 1. So in 5th, it is a Stan original film, which in Australia is another streaming service that I believe is owned by Nine, I think. So Christmas Ransom is basically a movie about where crooks want to break into a toy store, which is Harrington and Sons. And they want to basically try and rob the store, but then a pair of kids are in the store accidentally, and then they team up with a female security officer to try and save Christmas and the store. I'll say that it definitely is directed towards the more younger crowd of people, but I did enjoy it. It kind of felt a bit original, like it felt like a bit of Die Hard, I'll say, a bit of Home Alone, and also just a bit of like any Christmas comedy, I guess. But with it being Australian, it was different, just because for once it felt like a movie that was worth watching. So I would definitely recommend watching this movie with your family if you're in Australia, because I don't know if it's available elsewhere. But it has some pretty poor ratings, but I don't think it deserves 4.7. I'll give it maybe like a 5.5. It's watchable. So in number 4, it's one that I'm surprised wasn't in any of my other years. It is Fred Claus with Vince Vaughn and Paul Giamatti. So basically, Santa's older brother, Fred Claus, gets forced to move to the North Pole to help his brother, Santa, and the elves prepare for Christmas in exchange for cash, which, coming from that, he basically needs a loan because he's lost a lot of money. And then there's also the possibility of Santa getting fired because it doesn't work. So like I said, you've got Vince Vaughn, Paul Giamatti, John Michael Higgins, Elizabeth Banks, who reunited for Pitch Perfect. You've got Rachel Weisz, Kathy Bates, Kevin Spacey's in it as the bad elf, and most interestingly, it's got Ludacris, who plays DJ Donny, who's like a little elf. So that's in 4. That's another one that's like more orientated towards the family side of stuff, which is good. You like to see those. So in the 3rd spot, or just in 3rd, it is Bad Santa, which I will say that this is one that you don't want to see or don't want to watch with your children, just because it's rated M in America and MA15 here. So this is basically a crime comedy that is set on Christmas, where Mall Santa, who's played by Billy Bob Thornton, and his little helper are trying to rob department stores, but then they definitely start to run into problems when Billy Bob Thornton's character befriends a troubled kid that he sees at the shops. It gets into some hijinks. There's a lot of swearing and stuff in this movie. So it is an enjoyable watch. I haven't got around to seeing Bad Santa 2 yet, so we will see potentially next year when I watch that for the first time. So in second was a new experience for me. So it is 8-Bit Christmas, which was a HBO Max original from 2021 Christmas that stars Neil Patrick Harris, Steve Zahn, and so on, which it's also felt original because it was a 1980s movie, but also had 2020s like storyline as well. Yeah, so basically the main character wants a Nintendo NES, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, in 1980s, the 10-year-old tries to get the Christmas gift of his generation, which is the SNES. I think it's the SNES or it's a Nintendo. Yeah, it was a really enjoyable movie. I didn't think at first I would enjoy it as much as I wanted, but yeah, I did. I really did enjoy it. It's another one that can be watched for families and stuff. Yeah, that's probably all I can say. I did really enjoy Neil Patrick Harris in it. Yeah. So in number one, it's the newest of all these movies. It is 2022's Violent Night, which, before I start mentioning this, there's a lot of violence in this whole movie, but it's not one that you would want to show to your kids just yet, I will say. Maybe 16 plus, but you do. Yeah, so basically it's about where Santa accidentally gets stuck at a house because he loses his magical ability. Yeah. While there's also a group of mercenaries there that are attacking the estate of the family. So then Santa must step up to save the day and also Christmas. So yeah, it's an action, comedy, crime movie that basically felt like Home Alone and Die Hard on steroids. Because I will say that halfway through the movie, like maybe half of the movie, half of the movie was a bit boring, but once the back hour stepped in, it was really enjoyable. Yeah, David Harbour plays Santa to the T. John Leguizamo played Scrooge to a good distinct as he could, because yeah, I think he was menacing. Yeah, so it was one that I really enjoyed, but not one to watch with your kids, like I said before. Yeah, that was my most exciting one. I was so anticipated to watch this movie, and yeah, I got to watching it. It was enjoyable. I heard they might be making a sequel, which is good. Yeah, so to recap, it is this year's was Christmas Ransom, Fred Claus, Bad Santa, 8-Bit Christmas, A Surprise, and another surprise, Violent Night, a action comedy Christmas movie. Yeah. So thanks for watching Videomas Day 24, Christmas Eve edition. Yeah. I'll see you tomorrow for Videomas Day 25 and the last one for this year. See ya. Sorry I wasn't too loud today.